We are live in the Blue Moon Listener Lounge on 94.9 The River. I've got a great crowd here with me, and I'm going to ask them to give a warm welcome to Scott Hutchison of Frightened Rabbit. Good morning or good afternoon.
Oh, we're just into the afternoon.
Right?
Yeah.
Just made it. I must be, for you guys who are touring all the time in a country as big as ours, does the time mess with you when you're on the road?
Yeah, well, it depends. Like at the start of we only played the first show last night.
That's right.
So we're all still sort of relative. It may not seem that way to those that are here, but fresh faced and kind of like full of the joys of spring. But as time goes by, yeah, you can get into some really bad kind of timekeeping habits where you'll just. There was actually one tour towards the end of which it was in Europe in the winter and I didn't see daylight for 2 weeks.
Ow.
Yeah, that was my fault. It wasn't Europe's fault.
We are so excited to have Frightened Rabbit back in Boise for a show tonight at the Knitting Factory. And you guys have been here before.
Yeah, in that very same venue.
Yes.
I guess it was about 3 years ago or something now. Yeah. Love coming through here.
We're delighted to have you here. And before I get any farther, congratulations on Painting of a Panic Attack. I've been obsessed with this record since we first got it. It's fantastic.
I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, that's always good news because it took us 2 years to make it.
Yeah.
So it would have been a real waste of time if it wasn't.
Well, and not that my opinion matters, but I do want to hear just a little bit about making of this record, what you may have done differently, working, who you worked with that maybe you haven't worked with before.
I think everything was different with this one. The first thing being I'd relocated to Los Angeles, and that was the first time we'd worked remotely in that sense. We'd just been like, everyone lived in Glasgow, right. Everyone worked together. We would be in the studio most days, and it was just the whole kind of the work schedule was quite simple.
Right.
And then with this, it took a little bit of time to find our feet, and they were, the guys were working independently in Glasgow for the first time without me to tell them what to do, and they were making great work, and we were just flying things back and forth over email a lot, right. Which is it's one of the benefits of the modern age, but it kind of really changed the process a lot. But that's what makes a record different from the last one. I think the process has to change. It was forced to, but I think it was better. And we worked with a guy called Aaron Dessner.
Yeah, from the National. And he was the producer. Got incredibly involved, almost became like a sixth member of the band for this record. He doesn't do anything by halves, that man. Right.
He's all in, all the way. And so it's an incredible privilege to work with him.
Very nice. Have you found, I guess what I was thinking about, going back and listening to everything you guys have done from day one and the EPs.
It must have taken all day.
Well, it took a while. It's a nice thing about just hanging out with music on the back porch. Where do you think your music is now compared to those early days of the band?
I think when I think back to those early records, I don't even know how we got them done. There wasn't a huge amount of thought. It was a lot more. It was a much more natural process, and in some ways that's an unfortunate thing to lose. Is that sort of innocence, not really knowing where it's going or what you're doing, but you're just kind of you're enjoying it, and you know that much. And then things can get a little bit serious. So actually what I find is I have to try and tap back into that old self to regain some of that excitement about things. So our process now is, it can start to feel like a business, but we don't want it to be like that,
Right.
So it's about kind of trying to keep that spark.
As we mentioned, the album is called Painting of a Panic Attack. You can pick it up down at the Record Exchange or tonight at the show at the Knitting Factory. I want to thank our friends at Porta Subs for helping provide lunch for everybody here today. And Scott's got a guitar, and enough about hearing me, and we'd love to hear a song from you.
All right, this is called Get Out.
Oh,
yeah.
Yay.
I'm in the arch of the church between her thumb and her forefinger. I'm a worshipper, a zealot king, cursed, a devotee of the heady golden dance she does. She's an uncut drug, I found the vein and the pulse, I chased it, and for a minute I was floating dead above myself. Get out of my heart, she won't, she won't. Get out of my heart, she won't, she won't. I saw a glimmer in the dark, and now I know she won't get out of my heart, she won't. I'm in your purse, pull me out, throw me down, and stick me to your lip and draw a scarlet O. There's a name on my chest in red, the embossing of a branded book, and I don't want you to get out of my heart, she won't, she won't. Get out of my heart, she won't, she won't. I saw a glimmer in the dark, and now I know she won't get out of my heart, oh she won't. She won't, and there's a heavenly scar. It lets me know she won't get out of my heart, oh she won't. Thank you very much.
Scott Hutchison of Frightened Rabbit live in the Blue Moon Listener Lounge on 94.9 The River. Frightened Rabbit playing tonight with Caveman at the Knitting Factory. Their new album is called Painting of a Panic Attack. So did the album come out at the same time at home as it did here?
Yeah, it's all worldwide now. You can't get away with, I mean, yeah.
Mostly it is, right?
Yeah, it's all Fridays. That's how much time has passed between this and the last record. It was like Tuesdays before, yeah.
Right. So have you had a chance to play these songs live at home yet?
Yes, we did 3 dates in the UK just before coming out here. One in Scotland and then London and Manchester. So we're kind of
a little bit, but
got a little bit of a grounding in them. So
okay,
yeah.
What's the biggest difference between your fans at home and those here in America, or is there a difference?
I think the thing about the United States or North America is like almost feels like 10 different countries in one.
Exactly.
Because you can get because I find East Coast Boston in particular to be the most similar to Scotland. I think just because of the drinking culture. But that's kind of the beauty of it is I love not knowing what you're going to get on any given night, and then you kind of have to work with that, and you have to pull it into something great. Sure. Hopefully, yeah.
How have you found your songwriting? I've read, it seems like from what I've read, and you can't trust everything you've read, but it seems like a lot of your writing comes from real places, real people, and experiences. Is that
true.
Tend to be?
Yeah, I think that's with a few deviations into sort of semi-fictionalized events. The majority of material is based on my own life, and I think that's again going back to why I started writing songs. I wrote songs to understand things about myself or what was happening to me that I didn't fully understand.
Right.
I always see, I think it relates to that new album title, I kind of see songs as like a neat frame around a messy painting where it's just makes sense of things to me that I can't quite get a grasp on in day-to-day basis.
Right.
It's a disability, if I'm honest, but it's
Really?
like, it's the only way I can kind of make sense of things.
Well, it seems like a much healthier way of working out those issues that you're going through, maybe.
Maybe, but it's also very public.
Yeah,
and
there's no doubt about that.
That can bring its own problems. So that it's not.
So, good point. Has there ever been a song that perhaps you may not have addressed something the way you did that's gone on to be so popular that you're still living with that song and performing that song?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I live with the song in the same way as when the original emotion disappears.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny though. I do when I play live. There's most songs have a little movie that runs in my head.
Uh-huh.
And it's the same images that come up, it's just like a little private thing where I see this place, maybe where the song was written, maybe the person that I was with at the time, and it's like, and that repeats itself from night to night, and it doesn't feel, I don't feel like pain when I'm singing them. It's actually a wonderful release, and it's like these things sort of have a way of just becoming better with time and age.
We're visiting with Scott Hutchison of Frightened Rabbit. Their show is happening tonight at the Knitting Factory. Caveman is opening up. You can get tickets at the events page at riverboise.com. Stick around. We'll be giving away some tickets when we're through here as well. Thanks to our friends at Portisubs for providing lunch for everybody today. So you've been touring America now for a number of years. I mean, a while. What were the misconceptions, or any misconceptions about the band that you discovered when you first started coming over here?
Well, I think in general, people expected us to be incredibly miserable.
Really?
I think, and there's a number of times I've had a conversation with people maybe after a show, and they're like, "You're really not what I expected you to be," because I can make jokes and I'm not just crying all the time. I think our band has a sort of, and actually a lot of Scottish music. We do tend to, look into the darker aspects of life, but with a sense of humor. Arab Strap is an incredible example. But they write, Aidan writes funny songs as well.
True.
And I think there's always this edge. It's everything is a mess, but it's going to be okay. That's the kind of Scottish outlook that I love.
There's something about it. It must be my heritage. I live for that sound and that sort of dichotomy between. Maybe the sad or the those elements that go into a song that end up being so uplifting at the same time. I think Get Out is a good example of that.
I think that's a contrast we've been seeking in our music for a long time. Yeah. I really enjoy. One of my favorite things that anyone ever said to me was this was a few years ago now, and they said they'd been listening to our album for like 2 weeks, humming along, singing. Even singing the words, but not only 2 weeks later did they actually realize they're like, oh, this is messed up. And that was great, because I think what I always wanted to achieve is for the music to provide this open door, and then once you walk into the song, then it starts to get a little bit more complex, and I think that that contrast is really important for us in that way. It's a welcoming kind of invite into our horrible world.
Yeah, well, you do it super well. We're visiting with Scott Hutchison of Frightened Rabbit. We would love one more song if we could.
Absolutely. Fall free to the blizzard head, I wrapped my hand around the glass again. We all thought that I might change as I got older. Fell down and nothing bled, wrapped in cotton alcohol again. But to the hilt I hear from upon my shoulder, free pour the fruitless thought. It's far too late to talk so much, but still not giving up, though wish that I was sober. Forgive me, I can't speak straight. Forgive me, I can't. Forgive me, it's far too late. down the gateway drug, opened the gates and came the flood. It comes like a blush of love, it hits me without warning. Long nights of getting lost, I walk beneath a bridge I don't know. I need a black suit for tomorrow, I'm in mourning. My love, you should know the best of me left hours ago. So shove a rag into my mouth and let me smolder. Fall out and the damage done, I can't unsink the things I've sunk. Still not giving up, though wish that I was sober. Forgive me, I can't speak straight. Forgive me, I can't. Forgive me, it's far too late. Oh, come and shake me till I'm dry. I wish that I was sober. Oh, come to me and kill the night off. I wish that I was sober now. Oh, come and shake me till I'm dry. I wish that I was sober. Oh, come to me and kill the night off. I wish that I was sober.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Scott Hutchison of Frightened Rabbit live in the Blue Moon Listener Lounge. The band playing tonight at the Knitting Factory with the Caveman. Get there early so you have a great place to hang out. Bring extra money for merchandise because come on now. And got to support the band while they're on the road. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Oh, it's great. Thanks for having me.
Amazing ink, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get a picture of that on our Facebook page.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's Boise ink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got ourselves some artists in this town. We want to thank everybody that made it possible for us to pull this off today. I want to start with Frightened Rabbit and their management and our friends at Atlantic and Canvasback Records. Thanks to Ian as well. Much appreciated. We want to thank our crew here, Treva and Jasmine and John, who's got perfect punctuation on the microphone during the tests. Thanks to Kelsey, Ken, and Rochelle. If you'd like to go see Frightened Rabbit tonight, Ken is going to be taking calls in the studio. Give you a chance to win tickets. He'll take random callers at 287-2949. And I'm going to ask one more time for a big round of thanks for Scott here in the studio. With thanks to my bestie PA Carrie, we're going to send this back to the studio. You want tickets for the show tonight? We're giving some away right now. 287-2949. Back to the studio. And we're out.
Hey.